Mystery. Oh, it's really a sweet story. Shanta, hi guys, I'm Judy, and today I'm going to be watching Fruits Basket season 1 episode 9. In the last episode there was the new year and Tooru kind of had to spend it alone because they were going off to their family, and then they realized that she was all alone and she was kind of maybe, she was going to have to deal with not having her mother at the holiday for the first time, and they were and they also Hana made them realize that they should go back, so they did, and it was lovely, and they made wishes, and Akito was kind of angry that it didn't come, so yeah. And Shigure was very cryptic, and in this episode I don't know exactly what it covers, but we're definitely going to be introduced to Hatsuharu in like a more official kind of way, because we kind of saw him last episode a little bit, but not too much. So now he's going to make an appearance. Let's get into it. And yeah, he's already full screen.
If you don't want to piss off Haru and get him to go dark, check out my Patreon to get ahead on reactions to Fruits Basket. I'm already on episode 23. And if you learn martial arts and you can totally beat his ass, then I hope you enjoyed this reaction. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to support the original content. And let's get into the video.
I love this introduction. You really shouldn't, judge based on appearances.
そして相馬くんと京くんは相変わらず仲が悪いです。いい加減うざったいんだよお前。じゃあ力ずくで黙らせてみろよ女を。
You just surely drop that, dude.
少し風邪気味なんだよ。それは大変です。
I mean, taking a bath when you're sick, I think everyone helps.
明日は学校をお休みした方が良いので
Oh,
はない
it's
です
the
か。
race tomorrow. Of course, yeah, it's hard. It's the
そこま
race.
でしなくても。でも明日は持久走もありますし。
Not race. They made it a race. It's not a race, though. I guess it is a race. But Yuki and Kyou definitely made it more intense than anyone else thought it could ever be.
持久走だと。持久走。京くん。嫌な予感。大勢で走るもの。つまりは勝負事か。やっぱり。
Yasha! Sorry, I had to repeat that.
飯食って風呂入って寝りゃ治る。
Takes a bath, yeah.
なんとかいけそう。それに。休んだりしたらあいつがうるさいしね。
Look at the beautiful boy.
今日は王者の分まで頑張りましょう。そうね。走るのは苦手だけど精一杯頑張るわ。
Oh, it's me.
ごめんなさいトール君。私はもう走れない。そう歩いて。花ちゃん。歩いても這いずってもいいからとりあえずスタートしなさい。花島。
Such a good sugar. I just love Hana so much, honestly.
俺は勝つ。雪にガブ。うるさい。ガブガブ絶対ガブガブ。すんげえ速いぞあの二人。100メートル走じゃないんだから。おじいさん、どうしました？
Like, they just let them run around. I mean, like, they could just go out and never come back. I guess, whatever. Like, isn't the school responsible for them? What if they get in a car accident?
And those are the thoughts that plague you while watching a show about humans who turn into pets.
Why don't you have shoes on, Kyou, for God's sake? Like, why are you running carrying them?
この行為は大変危険です。今日以外の人間は怪我だけで済まないので、絶対に真似しないように。俺にもすんな。日曜日に出かけたつもりが、知らない間に知らない町に入り込み、 気づけば3日過ぎていた。ミステリー。
素直に道に迷ったっていいなよ。
Mystery.
さあやろう。
ちょっと待て。俺は
With
今
the coat on? That seems so like.
かもかけてきてやったんだぞ。
勝手に迷ってただけだろ。おい今日そろそろ春の言う通りにしてやった方が。ダメだったらダメだ。とっとと帰れ。
You're so like oblivious sometimes.
遅かった。
Because he knows this.
男だったらどんな勝負もかかってこいよ、子猫ちゃん。そして死ね。
高みの見物してんじゃねえぞユキ。今日こそお前をいただくぜ。
いただいてどうする。
We stand a guy who deliberately misunderstands your meaning and makes himself look cool while doing it.
あのお嬢ちゃんもいただいていくぞ。
はあ、それがなんだよ。
こんなことやそんなこと、その上あんなことまでしちゃうぞ。
何言ってんだよタコは。大体あんなことやそんなことってどういうことなんだ。よくわからんが女は関係ねえだろ。関係ないか。なんかムカつく。おい花島さん、ちょっとぐらい走ろうよ。
I just love those random battle noises. Every time I just imagine the voice actors having to shout that in the studio. Really kind of takes you out of the show, but I still love it. Kind of makes me wonder what a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure recording session sounds like.
I don't know. It really bothers me that he's still wearing his coat. I feel like it's very not, you know, a get up for a fight.
And this was the moment when Toru realized Kyou wasn't a complete and total loser. Love story for the ages.
ハルトなら今日の方が強いだろうね。昔から二人とも楽しそうに武術を習ってたからね。
相馬くんも楽しくて習っていらしたのでしょ。
さあ、どうだったかな。
That was Akito.
I do realize I'm pronouncing Akito's name wrong. Unfortunately, I stick to that way of pronunciation for the rest of the show. I didn't realize until after, which is funny because I usually do try to listen to the Japanese voices as they pronounce the names, but I guess calling him Akito has been with me since childhood, so it was hard to just let go of that.
そうだな。あんた結構可愛いし、協力してもらうか。
え？
どうせ抱くなら可愛い方がいいって言ってんだよ。
How is it? Yeah, I don't know what I think about it.
Black Haru, to be precise. I don't much like him here, though he does have his moments. But yeah, I infinitely prefer White Haru, which is kind of as it should be, I feel like.
フラチの野郎め。これで運んだ方が勇気も楽だろう。
Dark Haru version right now, though. So that's why I'm having a problem. Trouble with that.
今ならはっきりと言える。ロイヤルでストレートなフラッシュよ。
マジかよ。なんでそんないいカードばっか組んだ。お前ら走る気ないなら帰れ。その姿注目を浴びただろう。追っ払うの大変だったんだぞ。一つ僕が学校まで荷物を取りに行ってくるか。
しぐれさんは本当に思いやりあふれる方なのです。
女子高生、生で若い女子高生。
わかった。よろしく。なんでか俺が怒られた。ミステリー。
3日も行方をくらましてりゃな。勝負の続きするか。
ああ。いいやもう。今日やっぱ強いや。もっと鍛錬しなくちゃダメだな。
Is he wearing Kyo's clothes?
Too bad about that stylish coat.
もうブラックさんではないのですか？
ああ。
Yeah, he's a lot more cute when he's
全くの別人さんですね。
when he's White Haru.
ユキは
不愉快だ。俺は学校に戻る。
二人とも前はもっとピリピリしてて近寄れなオーラが出てたけど、それが和らいでる感じ。そっか。あんたがそばにいるからかな。
そんな、私がそんな大層な。
俺の初恋はユキだから。今日も好きだけど、 ユキは俺にとって特別なやつだから。ネズミは牛の背に乗り宴ってやつ。あれで無意識に敵視してた。
Subconsciously, because the adults would say that. You wouldn't resent it otherwise. It's just the story. No one says that the ox is stupid, except for the adults.
Well, honestly, I don't know how the folklore really goes. Maybe it is like a known thing that the ox is stupid for carrying the rat. And I guess overall you would think of an ox as kind of a stupid beast, I guess. Sorry. To all the oxes in the audience. I honestly don't believe anyone is really stupid. I guess sometimes you're just your own kind of clever.
And it was really, the thing that you needed to hear. Good on Yuki for knowing exactly what to say at such an age, but yeah.
心の枷を外してくれた。俺もユキを卑怯なネズミと決めつけてたんだ。あの日ユキに会えてよかった。じゃなきゃ
Because you were taught that
今も
from
誤解
as a
したまま
child.
嫌ってた。それこそ本当のバカだ。あんな笑い方、本家にいた頃はしたことなかった。
Cause they fucking suck.
だからあんたがユキの心を和らげてくれてるのかなって思ったんだ。
いえ、ですから私にはそのような大層なことなど。
そうかな。じゃあ試す。
よりによってなんでするかなそういう話を。
It's really a sweet story.
Casually showing us how hard Yuki finds it to be praised for his own kindness.
とっても素敵なお話でしたよ。ユキくん。
いいんだよ、春にき。
ハツハルさん、やはり私ではダメです。
下の名前で呼んでやるといい。きっと喜ぶ。
5カードよ。
また負けた。強すぎる。
その夜、皆さんが風で倒れることになるのでした。
一族中で俺を過労死させたいらしいな。
That's honestly one of my favorite sad stories. The one with Hana not actually running at all and getting everyone to play cards with her. It's so funny. It's like Hana is she's just so awesome, honestly. I love her. I love how she seems like so done with everything, but she's not. And how she was so theatrical about falling at the beginning. I love it. Yeah, so Hatsuharu is an interesting character. I guess what's a little off-putting about it is maybe the fact that he just says outright, I love Yuki was my first love and I love Kyou too, but it's kind of like it's a little weird that he says it so carelessly. Not careless, like just like, he actually says it without having any trouble. But it's kind of sweet, to be honest, that he's able to acknowledge that he likes them and he doesn't have any problem saying it. As White Haru, he's really adorable, and then as Dark Haru, he's just not. And I mean, that's the kind of the point to see, just to show us like the big difference, like the contrast between the two sides of him. From that story, you really can see how much their lives are defined by this story. Like everyone, like they live their lives by this story because it's the curse, that they have to live with. But more than that, it's like everyone around them, from the get-go, they never got a chance because they were told, this is who you are according to the story, and then it's very hard not to live up to these expectations, especially when you hear it all the time. Ever since you're born, that's who you are. Like you're kind of like put under this this tag, this kind of definition, and you can't really escape it. And that's what they teach you. Like that's what they teach you about everyone else as well. Like you know who they are even though you've never met them. I mean, I guess it's more prominent with Yuki, Kyou, and Hatsuharu, because I'm not sure, but I don't think there was like a lot of mention of the actual story, like the actual tale in like the other stories. Like it's not, I mean, I think, yeah, I mean, obviously that's why this is the backstory. Like this is the important part, is that they've been affected by this. But I guess all of them are like defined by this curse, and they, you know, they live with it from the beginning, and they are kind of told what they can do, what they can't do, and that they have pretty much no future. But for these three, it's like it also tells them who they are in particular, like, and how they should act, and how they should, like, what kind of, you know, people they are. And it's terrible. It's so destructive just to see, you know, Haru at the beginning, you know, at the beginning of the flashback, just like being, you know, saying like, you made me this way, like, because like the adults just told him who he was, and he never had anyone question it. And like, how would you know to question it? I mean, I guess you could maybe start to question it, but sometimes things just, you know, you grow up with it and you just know, I'm stupid. Like that's what everyone says, I'm stupid. It's so wow, it's so ruinous. Like it's easier for, I think, someone who's a little more grown up to, when you like come into contact with other people, and then you find out more things about yourself, and then you're like, maybe I'm not as stupid as everyone says I am, or something like that. But I guess it mostly comes from having contact with someone else who makes you feel like maybe you're not stupid, you know, or changes your point of view. So that's so important. And the thing is here that they're isolated for the most part. You know, each of them is isolated in their own pain, and even as they're all like kind of stuck together and they're kind of like pulled to each other by this curse, they're also dealing with a lot of stuff on their own. And, you know, like they're kind of defined by their pain, and they don't know to reach out because they don't have any kind of support. Like it's not like it's like a curse that kind of ties them together against their will. Like they don't like it, or like it's forced on them. So it's not like a camaraderie. Like in some ways, yes, some of them reach out to each other, but mostly, for the most part, they're kind of either stuck completely alone, kind of like Yuki, or they manage to find someone who frees them from this a little bit. Like, okay, I'm not gonna say it. I just realized that like I know the show, like the story for the most part, but I don't want to talk about it too much, like about spoilery stuff, because if someone watches this reaction and they haven't watched the whole show, it could be a problem.
I'm being so cryptic here that I actually have no clue what I was trying to reference. Sorry. There are several likely candidates, honestly. Also, I'm saying that I know the show. I mean, the story, like not the show. I haven't watched the whole show at this point when I'm reacting to it, obviously. But there's so much of the story that I forgot or didn't, or misinterpreted, or just didn't really pay attention to in the same way that it's not entirely true here. So maybe it's better that I, you know, keep my thoughts to myself.
In any case, yeah, like it definitely seems like this curse is, like everything revolves around it, and the family, they don't know how to deal with that. Like this is how they deal with it, and it's bad. Like it's bad, and everyone involved. I guess it's understandable. Like they've had this burden of the curse for a very long time. You know, you're kind of hopeless, and you're kind of just, you know, there's like no way to change it or whatever, and you just, and everything is like, and it's also a secret, and it's also like everything is super, you know, kind of dark and enclosed and isolated, and you just kind of like all those bitter feelings are kind of just festering inside this very small circle of people, and you just like, it's just like really poisonous. Like even more than the curse itself, it's the idea of the curse. It's what it makes them. it's how it makes them act and how it makes the adult act toward them, or like not just adults, like other people who know about the curse but don't actually. And I guess people who have a lot of impact on this, and and the things they say and the way they act just really shapes the lives of of the children that bear the curse, also as adults. But to begin with, it starts out as children, and and they just like because it's like this hereditary thing. It's also like, oh, okay, this is what we know about the the cat, so this is who you are, like you can be any different. There's no place for you to be anything. You're just like a carbon copy of someone else who was there before you, and they were probably like kind of strangled in the same way, so you're just like really, really trapped, and it's pretty horrible. Anyway, like here in the story, you really see how it affected like two children. It's like Yuki really had, like that was really what Hatsuharu needed to hear. He needed to question the basic idea that was implanted in his head about how he was stupid, and realize for himself that he doesn't think it. Yeah, good on Yuki, like honestly. They're like, what? How old were they here? Like maybe 10 years old, maybe stretching it. That's a lot of like wisdom for a child. Anyway, for a child who is also kind of stuck in the same situation, or in some sort of similar situation. Also, I like in this episode how we see how Kyou becomes Kyou wants to defeat Yuki, and he doesn't like him in particular, and he kind of hates him. But when it becomes like, well, yeah, it would be a real asshole if he didn't care at all that Yuki is sick. Like, it's not like he doesn't care. It's not that he really cares. I don't know. Like, he doesn't care. I don't know. But in any case, he's like, like he becomes serious, and he's like he doesn't lose his head. Just to get the point across, I'm giving Kyou brownie points here for not letting his hatred for Yuki just, leave him to die. I've got it bad. The fangirling is real. Not that I regret a moment of it, of course. Kyou and his violent and niggery battles for the rule. Like, when he heard Yuki was sick, he was like, oh, you get over it. Just, take a bath, take a nap, whatever, don't flake out on me. But, once he faints, at least. I guess overall, like, Haru, I don't know where I would put him in terms of, like, my favorite characters. I mean, I do like his light side. Somewhere in there. Please, before you start an anger strike, I just want to say that I don't think at this point I really remembered everything that Haru was going to be in the story. So this placement, I think, is invalid. I do plan on making a character tier list when I finally finish, editing all of these videos. You can probably already guess where some of these characters are going to rank. Cough, cough, Kyou. And I'd like to hear what you think about that. Not that I'm not going to do it. I mean, I'm going to do it anyway. But it will be cool to know if anyone will actually be watching that kind of video. And Shigure is just disgusting, honestly. The more I see of it, the more, the more, I see it here now, with a different perspective. Like, I used to laugh at the, oh, he's just going to the school for the girls, ha ha ha, and Tori thinks he's so kind. It's disgusting. It's horrible. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And the thing is that they left it in, they didn't really, I don't know, make it more palatable in this adaptation. I mean, I guess this is who he is. That's kind of the point, to show us that he's not a good person. And yet he's so kind of, and yet, we kind of, I think, are supposed to like him to some degree. Because he's, because he does have his moments when he's very decent. And with Tooru and stuff, Tooru really admires him. She's really thankful to him, and Tooru is just she sees the good in everyone. So obviously she wouldn't know. I do think it's more of a choice. Like, she doesn't want to know, you know? She doesn't want to think anything bad. I mean, it's both. It's both her being really naive, but also it's a choice that she makes to see the good in people, you know? Because her mom told her that. So I think it's deliberate to some degree, for sure. Like, her mom told her, like, I want her to be a person that sees people, you know, that sees the kindness of people or something like that. That's what she focuses on. But then it kind of gives, you know, Shigure this kind of like, oh, you know, Tooru likes it, whatever. Whatever. I don't know. Shigure is a terrible person. I honestly think that, you know, more and more.
I mean, yes, but also he's a really interesting character. He's kind of, you know, more complex and just like terrible, I guess. But oh well.
I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Special thanks to my top Patreons, Redding Tier, Andy Plays All Night, Stone Tree, Tyranor, and Michael Gabriel. And to the rest of my amazing Patreons, without whose support I would never be able to do any of this. Thank you so much.